This is my teaching and learning website called Aretimaths.com, and it's a repository of student activities and learning materials for maths. It's hosted on the World Wide Web, so I use an external hosting provider to run the content. I've been working on this website for about 6+ years, so probably about 8 years. In its various forms. So when I was at Otaki College, I started off there using a program called KnowledgeNet, which was a school-wide initiative, and I did some development work there on my courses, and I quite like the concept of it, so I continued to use those main concepts on a Moodle site when I left the college. And so the early work there was statistics and modelling that I did, and I'll just show you some of the ideas that come from that. So one of my early topics was, for example, time series. And this particular course is broken down into lessons. So we have an introductory topic which has videos, activities and links to other websites and so on. And I also embed notes and things. There's also assignments where students can upload work. So this one here, for example, assignment 3, students have upload buttons such as that where they can go and put their work. Oh, there's 2 assignments on here from some historical course. That's this here. So these students here uploaded some assignments. Now I can actually mark those and give those kids feedback. I probably gave them oral feedback or verbal feedback about that, and I can grade the courses and so on, but I'm not going to do any of that right now. It's just to show you that each course has got complete activities and sequences. Let's go back to time series. So as you saw with the students who were featured there in the modules and the assignments, the reason that that happens is because I have enrolled those students into my course, and I can copy those enrolments over onto other courses. So this year's level 3 stats kids who come in and out of these courses to do their work, and they are, to be honest, not very good at being on this website. Students who I've taught before are more familiar with it. They will come in and out more frequently. They understand that the work is all in here and that I do update it as frequently as I say that I do, and that it is incrementally improved, and those students are coming in and out all the time. So the students that are more familiar with that concept, the ones that are new to it, can actually even get lost with finding where the website is. And that is more a reflection, I found, of their skills and confidence on using technology and the internet, as opposed to anything that I'm doing. And I'll show why in a second when I introduce some junior courses that I'm doing. So that particular course used a format that is known to have an issue in the Moodle community called the scroll of death, where basically you've got lesson after lesson. There's lesson 2 plotting, lesson 3 technology, and it just scroll down with lots of course materials. And so what I learned to do through a YouTube video was to consolidate the lessons, and this is really reflective practice as well, because a student of mine in the year 9 course said, "Miss, it'd be really easy if this was like a home page where you had topic, and we could click in and out." So I actually did just that with their fractions and decimals topic, and I organised everything back on a contents or a home page as such, so that those students could click in and out of topics. And what's nice about this particular topic here is that it is it goes up in stages, if you like, so from easy to hard across the actual numeracy framework, which is pretty cool. And it's a vision that I've had under development in my own mind for a long time. Decimal place value, for example, if we click into this lesson, we'll find a video that I've made and that's linked to YouTube, and some activities here around understanding decimal place value. And then we can click back to the topics page via this button here, which takes us back to that listed topics page. While I'm here, I'll show you the quiz feature. So recently, really over this year, I've developed quizzes that are embedded in the Moodle site, and if we just have a preview into this particular one here, it's an activity that the students can choose answers, and in this case question 1 is multi-choice, choose one answer. So what are we doing? The 5, the value of the 5 in this case, I think that's hundredths. And the kids can submit their answers as they go, like this, and it tells them if they're correct or not. And we've been doing a lot of this work with the Year 9 skills building and number course. If I go to results for this particular course, I can see the students in my current Year 9 class who have had a shot at this and the scores that they got. So Alex, for example, this wasn't a set work, he chips away by himself. He got a score of 7.39 out of 10, and I can go along and just basically just have a look, see where he got to and where he sort of stopped, or where it might have got a bit too hard for him. He's actually done most of these, which is quite nice. If I look further afield, I can see that Nathan has started his but not actually finished it, so it remains open until he clicks the final submit. But I can also just go along and just suss out the fact that he stopped here, and so maybe there was a sticking point, and that's quite nice where I can go on and see, especially if I've got the questions graded from easy to hard, I can go on and check that out. And what's also good about this is I can see all the course grades, and sometimes I put this up on my board while the students are working in a flipped environment, and if they are specifically all meant to be doing one thing, they can see. But up here we have the list of activities, and this is just a giant grid that shows who's completed what, and at a glance I can see who my consistent workers are, but I can also pick out perhaps problem areas, or what kids are doing that get them stuck. A lot of gaps here, but it was probably the way that I set those courses up before I directed the whole class to particular lessons, probably from this point on. So I can review the statistics of kids' work and what they're doing. Didn't mean to scribble on that. And get overall grades and so on. So down the end here, if I wanted to do this big scroll, I can look at grade point averages for this particular number topic that we did, based on completions and so on. The other thing that my Moodle site does is I can go in by student, so I can have a look at Hayley here. Beautiful Hayley. And I can log in as Hayley, and I can show you the view that she gets. She can go into the quizzes that she's meant to have completed, and she can see, and I've been trying to direct them down this list here. Okay, I got to there, perhaps I should do this one here next. So if she clicks in, she can attempt the next area. She can either attempt it or go back. So I'm just going to head back. I'm just going to log in back in as me. So when I'm going around the room, I can say to a student, what are you working on? And I can quickly log in as them and see if that's actually true as to what they're on at any particular time, or I can monitor their work. So the other way that I can do that is I'll go back to let's have a look back to quizzes. I'll go to participants. And I can see, it's actually the weekend now, but I can see when the class last logged in, and I'm suddenly concerned about Lily. I know she's been sick, but I think also she's perhaps not been doing these particular lessons where I've directed her. Nice to see some of the kids logging on at home, because this is a really good homework site as well. Now this particular course has gone stale because we've moved on, so actually 41 days is probably about the average, 41 to 45. This is an older course that we've done, but I can see here that these students, and if I sign in as them, I can see that where they're actually going. So let's have a look at Destiny. She is, I can just have a look at her activity reports up here, and I can check the dates that she's gone in and had a look at things, and all her activities. So this is the topics for, we're still in fraction decimal percent number, so we're still on an old course, but I can hop in and just have a look at where she's been, what she's looked at, and with her quizzes I can also check out the grades that she's received as well. And I can get more detailed views where I can see how much time she spent on each particular activity, through my lessons and my topics that are listed through here. Okay, let's take a different view. Let's go back to this number fraction decimal percent course, which hops back into topics. I started to do some investigative work. So this for me was quite a big jump actually. Before I move on, I'll just say that this format of having like text boxes, like hyperlink boxes as a contents page was really quite a big step, and it just made it easier for the students to navigate their way around the Moodle site. The other area that I developed was the level of sophistication in the quizzes that I used. So for example, this one here I started playing around with, I'll show you the actual quiz, importing images into the quiz, so where you can actually show concepts or pictures of things of interest. Just have a look if there's anything here. This particular quiz as well has got the multi-choice idea, so you can choose one or the other and you can check things out, and so on. Now the kids can save their work, because I do it so that they can save without submitting, save all and finish, but even if they forget to check these boxes, they will come back to where they left off. So if they do anything wrong, I can still see if they've had a crack at things. I can see the results for this particular one quiz here if I like, and how far the class actually got, which is really nice, and the grade point average. I can also sometimes pick up, some kids just aren't good at submitting. Sophie's probably a little bit like that, but she's really good at doing her work, and I think under a non-flipped scenario, someone like Sophie would say, look, I've done that, and she might not sort of have kept all her records or handed it all in or something like that, but you know, she's left an indelible record here of what she's actually attempted, so that's pretty cool. And she's actually a student who doesn't often appear to be working. She sort of sits there when she's had a crack, or she'll take a little bit of a break, but she's got a lot of high performance work to show for. Which is awesome. The other thing is my slow workers. I can say, look, I can't see much done, and they'll promise me they'll go home and do heaps of sessions, and they often do, which is really nice. So I'm not the policeman in the classroom anymore, because this thing here has really good tracking of what students do. Just going back to the main course pages here, actually I wanted to show you the sophisticated quiz options that I've been playing around with. Let's have a look if there's something in this quiz here. Preview. This one's got a page at a time, so I've done it like an ESTL style question where it's multiple choice. And these are ESTL questions, which is quite handy because I can get a guideline for curriculum levels. This one here is a quiz where I have played with formats. And what I've actually discovered is that I can also embed videos in. So if I wanted to teach a wee concept, I can embed a YouTube video in, and then straight underneath I can get students to, you know, answer something that they've seen in the video. Answer the question, for example. So I'm just typing in some guff here. Alright. So we can also see here an embedded object, the house pictures. And over here, this is a different type of question where it's sort of like a matching, like a pick, a quiz, which is quite useful. So I've been playing around with quiz formats, which is making the quizzes more flexible and more interesting and varied formats that I can actually use in the course content creation that I do. And in whole numbers, we've just been doing this one recently, doing a little bit of sign work with numbers. I've just made this video here showing the idea of adding and subtracting integers. I've left the picture that I would normally give kids to copy or photocopy back in the day, and straight underneath that there's a practice quiz for them to actually have a look at. Because I've also been playing with formatting web pages in particular, I've been able to get the questions bigger and bolder, so that when I go around and watch them doing them on their iPads, I can see the questions a little bit easier because I'm actually a little bit blind bat, and this actually really works for me as well. Often if I put the wrong answer, 5 plus negative 3 is 2, but let's put 78 in there. If the students are putting the wrong answers into their quizzes or their practice sessions, I can see these great big dirty stripy lines, and normally it's the conversation starter I'll use. What's your little red stripe there showing, or what are you stuck on, or would you like some help? And kids often, or they'll park it there. So for example, if they've got that wrong but they're carrying on, they'll come back and say, Miss, I didn't get this one here. And the other thing they've been doing is helping me edit the work. They know that this is start-up course content material, or this is all new stuff for our flip sessions. So if they find mistakes in my quizzes, basically it's bribery and corruption, and I could just give them chocolates in the next lesson. So just heading back home and still showing some sophisticated features on quiz creation, which Moodleside is brilliant at doing. Let's go this way. This algebra course is a work in progress. These quizzes here are hot potato quizzes, and they also appear in the activities block here. And what they are is, it's freeware that you can download onto your PC, and you can just enter. So I can check and enter these. So these are close. This particular activity is a close. So I've got 4%, which probably means I got that first question correct. These can be a little bit blinky, these particular hot potatoes, when they're put in an iPad format. so they don't tend to be the best stable things, but they can work quite well sometimes. This is exactly the same quiz, but instead of writing in, I've put all the optional words and they can choose. And what's nice about doing this option, it doesn't take much longer to, I think that's a product, it doesn't take much longer to create this. You just change the feature so that you've got these drop down boxes all the way through, and so that takes the stress out of, well, I just don't know what that word is. So that's just a similar quiz there. And these also link up to my marking pages, so that if I hop into the hot potatoes quizzes, I get marks out of 100% or whatever I set them to. 26 kids have done this, which is nice. I can go on and have a look at those kids or their results. Or 26 attempt, 13 users, so they've basically been in twice each average. Back to that course there. So hot potatoes, you can do multi-choice questions and so on, everything that Moodle offers. But I didn't think you could do those closes, but I've closed style questions where you have the answers are embedded within a text. But by doing some website development work or some HTML writing, I was able to achieve a similar result in a Moodle quiz. So this particular quiz here is embedded in the Moodle site, and if I just want to throw some values in there, what does he charge? $6 and $4. So we're paying $6 there, $10 there. 14 there, and that would be for 3 kilometres worth. So I can just submit that question, have a look. Beautiful, all ticked nicely, and I can go on to the next question and just do these algebra type tables. So these are really nice for doing these sorts of questions, and you'll see that I'm spacing out my quizzes and making them more sophisticated with each new development that I'm actually learning about. Take a long time? Yes. Worth it? Yes, very much. These are recyclable, these quizzes, so it means that I can change and adapt the questions, so I can I can edit them and make other quizzes based off the templates of each one. The other thing I can do is I can come back here to this course, and next year when if I have a year 9 or if I have a year 10 at about the same level, I can reset the course and put new enrolments in for new students. So it's extremely powerful website that I've been working on. It's work in progress, it's a labour of love. I've been doing it for a very long time, and I've also been developing the techniques and levels of activity quite painfully, I must say, but the huge investment of my time to actually do this. Very good success rate with year 9s this year, and I'm reflecting on the content and the unpacking of it and the way that it works by working with them and listening to their feedback, and they're giving me feedback as well. So they're actually telling me how to design it. They're also telling me how they want the quizzes to read, and those embedded ones were based on some ideas that they talked to me about and some interactivity. So next steps for me is to look at having some more fully interactive type tools like embedded number lines and arrows and things that they can pull around, which will require a little bit of JavaScript programming. But none of it's impossible, and the really good thing about it is that all of it is keepable, if you like, and adjustable to a particular class. So I can take any topic here and update it, copy and update, and take things out and move things around according to the next year's class or the level of the particular class that I'm teaching. So I might decide to knock out courses, which means that I can sort of take that topic off. I could enhance this topic here, for example, do more with it, change the videos, and just tweak and do things with it to actually develop the actual courses. And that's something that I've been doing with these courses for a number of years, and that's how they're coming to be, and that's how they're coming to be split out into sub-courses and things like that. But senior courses are on there in their various formats. The senior kids are pretty hopeless at appreciating or working online in some ways. It's a little bit, and some of them are quite good at it, but the ones that really need it are also not confident or don't really, they're not pulling me, they don't see the potential. And as much as I put things on for them, they're not revisiting and using this sort of stuff. So it's just a matter of continuing to put things on and directing some kids to it, also just using the resources and getting it to them in different formats sometimes. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, hope that gives you a good overview of aretimaths.com and the site and image that I have for developing a powerful maths course and maths platform for teaching mathematics and engaging students in the best possible way. Kia ora.